Any rookie team is going to know every single in and out, every weakness and vulnerability that Frost has. Blitz will know it because of Woong. So even though Frost, a lot of people would say, hey, yeah, they're a better team. Traditionally, they're a great team. Blitz is so dangerous to Frost right now.
They are exceptionally dangerous, especially because Blitz has been running a lot of very wild compositions. They ran a Fizz Ari pick comp that proved very successful. They know how to execute the strategies. They're not afraid to make rather strange and unorthodox picks, and every time they pull out one of these strats, it looks very polished.
Yeah.
They are a dangerous up-and-coming team.
That's right. So, guys, it is time. Let's introduce our two teams in this match so we can all get to know each other a little bit better. It's the icebreaker, which makes sense for Frost, I guess. And who will we check out first? On this side of the arena, we have MiG Blitz. There they are, coached by Woong, the former AD carry from CJ Frost.
And it's worth noting, too, that Woong's family bankrolled MiG in the early days. So actually, Woong has a lot to do with the fact that Blaze and Frost exist and were able to get to their level, and he's starting again.
That's right.
The MiG brand was bought out by Azubu and then CJ Entis, but now it's back with this new team. Can he get these guys up into the same place as his old teams?
Well, we'll see. I mean, they've had some mixed results throughout the season, but throughout the season they have also looked very good, very clean, very tight. Like you mentioned, the amazing thing with Blitz is that it seems like nearly everything they try has been very polished.
It has been, and they had the KT Bullets on the ropes in one of those games.
Yeah,
and
they really did.
It was the KT Bullets veteran decision-making that won that game.
Yeah.
But they have looked quite strong.
Well, there's the roster. Apple Prime 1 saw Gogo and Riona, top jungle mid AD carry and support, and Apple in that top lane has had a pretty good season so far. Not a bad KDA, good variation of champions, has played Jace a couple times. Now, we just did see Jace work. So will we maybe see it again today from Apple?
First time in Champion Summer we've seen it work, and we have seen it picked multiple times.
That's right. Prime in the jungle. His parents are here today. A little bit of added pressure, but no doubt a little bit of added inspiration as well. Playing that Zac, Lee Sin, Elise. Very standard picks for him, but he's been quite effective on them so far.
He has been indeed. And OneSock taking away a couple of MVP.
Yeah.
far.
A little bit of everything for this guy. A little bit of AD carry, a little bit of regular AP carry, a little bit of Fizz out of nowhere.
They've run it all. They've run fast push comps in the qualifiers. They've run pick comps. They've run double AD comps. There's a lot that these guys have a very large strategic wheelhouse to draw from.
It's so interesting because this team is really just like Neo Frost. You know, the way that all the utility goes through. Their AD carry Gogo, a very utility-oriented AD carry. Riona, a very utility-oriented support. I mean, they all are, aren't they, right? But they all work so well as a cohesive unit, which was really one of Frost's great strengths all the way through. You know, there could be little individual weaknesses in players on the team, but overall, the strength of the team as a whole is so good. And there's Prime's parents on the left. Uh-oh. His dad had his collar popped, though.
Uh-oh.
Monte Cristo is suddenly enraged. He's going to, jump off the stage and tackle that guy. Fold down his collar. That's how you wear a shirt.
I do that to people. I admit it.
It's true. Look out. Don't try to shake Monty's hand if your collar's popped. And there's Prime on your screen right now. Getting the parental inspiration. Nice to see parents being supportive because we have seen the opposite this season as well.
Exactly. Sylph ganked by mom.
He was ganked by mom. That's true. Well, guys, a big cheer from the crowd as we introduce CJ Frost. A couple roster changes, and there's Mad Life on the end. This team, though, despite those changes, really seems to be just as strong. And Mad Life.
Mad Life with his god.
Really actually has become God now, I guess. There you go. Not sacrilegious at all to certain demographics.
Well, the reason why he's actually pulling out that poster tonight, by the way, is because people used to joke MiG stood for Mad Life is God.
That's very true.
So that's why he has that poster tonight, to kind of rub it in MiG Blitz's face that he is the true God.
And exactly, I mean, and the God connotation in Korea too it's not quite as the same as it is in Western cultures as well too, so there is that to consider. But that's a whole different, amazing, interesting topic to talk about, which we won't talk about today, unfortunately. CJ Frost, so strong. Look at that. They've never finished worse than 4th place ever in any tournament.
It's pretty
Who else has done that?
Very few teams in the world can boast a record that cohesive, that complete, that dominant.
Shy in the top lane, Cloud Templar in the jungle, ganked by Mom replacing Rapid Star in mid lane. AD carry will be Space today and support. The best support in Korea, Mad Life. Has some competition, but still the best in my mind. And there's Shy in the top lane. The All-Star. 4.0 KDA, actually, which is pretty good.
Now, CJ Frost has been running some pretty solid all-around comps. Not anything particularly innovative. Really been focusing on Orianna for Gank by Mom. We know it's a very solid champion. He didn't look so spectacular on Jace, losing to the KT Bullets in that series when he played the champion, or in that game rather. They split 1-1 in the series. But his Orianna play has been extremely solid. We also know he has a pocket AP Kog'Maw. I don't know if we're ever going to see it, but I anticipate MiG going to ban that Orianna out, try and see what else they can get.
I think that's a great idea. You know, we were talking to Shover about this too in the break. We don't know how deep his champion pool is, and I think a big thing that Blitz can do is try to exploit that. Space has been so solid on AD carry this season. Really, I think offering a lot of mobility that Woong didn't really bring to the team. And there's Mad Life. I mean, what do you say about Mad Life other than that this guy is the best right now?
And in an age of peel and pick supports, Mad Life playing a melee engage support with Alistair and absolutely crushing the KT Bullets with it.
That's a really good Photoshop. They even have, actually they even have like the paint line texture. The face, that is, I approve. As someone who worked as a graphic designer for a while, I approve of that Photoshop.
It's pretty fantastic. Well, this is, as I was saying in the last game, really doing a good job.
If you not trust Mad Life, then in hell, apparently. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle, Monte Cristo. So Mad Life, though, he is really going to need to be on top of his game. They all are, because Woong is going to have a plan, and it is going to be a brilliant plan against CJ Frost. So can CJ Frost overcome it? That's what we're about to find out, guys. We're moving into picks and bans for game number 1. Here we go. CJ Frost versus MiG Blitz. Orianna ban, there it is, right away.
And the Vayne ban as well. These have been the crutches that Frost has been using to take their wins. And the Twitch ban. That is literally everything that Space has won with and Gank by Mom has won with. So they took away all the champions that were very critical in their 3 wins so far this season, trying to put them on the back foot, taking Ahri away from OneSuck, who has proven to be quite a strong Ahri player, and they don't want to get picked. Because if there's a way you can beat CJ Frost, they've always had a weakness to pick and skirmish compositions.
Right.
Always. Because they don't react very well when they're not grouped up and team fighting or when they're not initiating.
This is so interesting, too, because we have no Jace ban, no TF ban, no Elise ban, no Shen ban. Everything is open, essentially.
OneSuck did play a game as TF against the Bullets.
Yeah, that's true.
And he lost. But that was a game that they quite nearly won. And that Elise may be taken first.
Yeah, will it go to Apple or Prime, though? That's the question.
They could get double globals.
They could, but they're choosing instead to go with Thresh and Shen.
Wow, the crowd absolutely nuts here tonight.
Yeah. Oh, man, they're so excited. They know how big this match is, not just from a group standpoint, but also this sort of like, this new rivalry, this new grudge matchup that's kind of coming between these two teams. They know the history.
Well, this has been eagerly anticipated by fans.
I am so glad that I'm healthy enough to cast this today, man. I was not gonna miss this. I would have been like laying on a bed with an IV in my arm, with my headset on stage, casting this if I needed to.
It's a great set of matches, and I am really excited to see what MiG Blitz's plan is. As the seconds tick by, we need to see these next couple of picks.
Yeah, it's going to be.
AD.
All right, well, there it is.
So the hand has been shown.
Yep, the cards are on the table now.
Cards are on the table. Will the Nunu be picked up?
Ooh, we may have a Graves.
And that'll mean they're trying to get down and dirty in terms of split pushing. Now, switching up the
Are we going to see, but maybe are we going to see the Kog'Maw and the Graves? No, TF. Gank by Mom playing TF, guys. I am excited if this gets locked in.
I don't know how much I like the Kog'Maw pick here.
That's a bit passive. It's a bit passive against something that they really need champions that can duel, you know?
Well,
skirmish.
Maybe. If the Nunu gets picked, if they try and fast push turrets as 5, if Gank by Mom can get a fast Sonya so he can teleport in behind them, with the Shen ult coming in on top of TF, that's going to be an utterly fantastic engage.
Well, that's the thing, is they do have that double global that you talked about earlier, and you know, we've seen these champions banned for so long because of it.
I think this
way. Quinn Fiddlesticks. It could be. We know Woong has a crazy plan, but I don't know.
Fiddlesticks?
Fiddlesticks? Fiddle Quinn? Maybe. Janna getting that disengage.
Could be a top lane Quinn.
Yeah. Oh, okay. They're going to switch it up. Maybe.
It's a fast push comp. Well, I like the Fiddle pick better with this, actually.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to get a lot of pressure on the early turret. Now, it's going to come down to how fast Big Blitz can take a tower. They really want to take it before that 6 hits from CJ Frost, and they get 2 globals on the board.
Oh, there it is. Gets locked in. The Cannon and the Fiddlesticks.
Now, actually, Doa.
Oh, Mad Life, don't give me a heart attack like that, man. We already have Slash in the game. It's not going to work.
Now, I really like the fact that they have this Twisted Fate in the game to engage, and I think it may have been a bit of an error for Big Blitz to pick up those double ADs when Twisted Fate was still available, because coming in from behind is a very strong way to engage on this comp.
Oh, Amumu gets locked in. Oh, man. What in the world is this?
If Blitz is smart, they're going to invade early.
They've got a great comp for invading, too.
Well,
I mean, that fear level 1.
CJ has an extremely dangerous comp to invade against. Gold card, taunt, and death sentence. It would actually be really hard to invade against that.
Hence the Amumu pickup. There you go. So, in the top lane, Apple on Kennen. Shy playing Shen. Shy Shen. And in the jungle, we have Prime on Elise. Cloud Templar bringing out the first Amumu we've seen in a long, long time. In the mid lane, Wansuck on Ezreal and ganked by Mom. Playing TF at AD carry Go-Go on Caitlyn. Space on Kog'Maw. And finally, down at the support position, we have Rihanna on Fiddlesticks and Mad Life on Thresh. And here we go, guys. Moving into game number 1. CJ Frost versus Big Blitz. Group D is on the line. Who's going to take game 1? We're going to find out right now.
Whoa! 4 Doran's Blade starts.
It's Woong. This has Woong written all over it, guys.
It does indeed, and we've seen Doran's Blade starts. It's not abnormal on these champions, but
it's still 4 of them at once. This is going to be a messy level 1. I can feel it.
I love it. Let's see if they can actually figure out, because CJ Frost, if they realize that there are 4 D-Blades.
They're pretty spread out right now.
Oh, this is going to be an exciting level 1.
This is going to be an exciting game, man. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh, can they catch anybody? Wansuck with the Mystic Shot. A little bit of damage onto Cloud Templar on Amumu there. We have not seen an Amumu since the days of the Curse of the Sad Bullet time. Oh, wow, look at that. On Naver's search right now, they're basically showing that something with this game is high on Naver. Naver is basically like the Google of Korea. and there's like a thing that shows what's being searched a lot right now. And apparently in Korea, what do you know? This game is pretty popular.
Indeed it is.
May come as a shock to some of you, yes.
So,
all right.
CJ Frost has a good way to deal with this. If they can get that level 6. And Prime is getting in the ward brush right now.
Good ward. Really good ward from Mad Life there. And that ward, actually, getting that ward over the ledge from Pry Brush, that's actually one of the trickiest ones to like learn to do, I think. In my opinion, as a support.
All right, well, they are going to be going for the 5-man engagement. CJ Frost is ready. They've laid the trap.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Ryuna coming in. They check the bush with the Mystic shot. They go for that blue. Here we go, guys. Shot coming in. They get the top onto Prime. Gold card onto Prime as well. And the death sentence repelled to the blue. He fails his flash and fails to survive. First blood goes to Shy.
Beautifully played.
Indeed, man.
Shy, the flash taunt right off the bat to lock him up just long enough. Big blitz, not wanting to commit to that fight right there. This is Shy. It is.
It is. That is Shy. That is Shy. You know, he's got those spiky shoulders though with this skin, so like when he's reaching back to grab his swords, how does he not get distracted?
How does he not impale his own arms? It's a great question. Let's take a look at that
swords
again.
are swords, apparently.
So coming in Shy, look at that.
Flash taunt, so
taunts.
good.
And then immediately into the death sentence and gold card. Prime never had a chance.
Well, maybe a little bit of a chance with that flash, but pretty unlikely. I mean, yeah, he had Ignite down on him too, so.
Yes, it's unclear.
Yeah, probably would have finished him
not.
Probably Answer unclear. Not. Please try again.
So, these compositions, Doa. Of course, Caitlyn Fiddlesticks, one of the best lanes if you want a fast push in the game. But CJ Frost has matched them with their duo in the mid lane, which is going to make things a lot harder.
Oh, gank by Mom. Trying to get away here. Dodges the orb of... No, actually, the Mystic Shot. My bad. I've got Ari on the brain. But he does have to use his flash to do it, though.
Yes, he does. However, he still has his Ignite up, so they trade Summoner for Summoner.
Yep.
But OneSuck being a little bit of a bully right here. Now, again, they can go for this fast push. They've got a lot of tools to do it with. They've got lane bullies in this Ezreal and this Kennen.
Got 4 Doran's Blades.
We've got 4 Doran's Blades. So they are in a pretty good situation here to keep these lanes pushed and start getting turret damage down across the board.
Yeah.
The key point, the very, very, very key point for CJ Frost is getting that Zhonya's Hourglass onto Gank by Mom. Because that way, the weakness of these double AD comps is that if the back line collapses. And so if you come in with Twisted Fate with Zhonya's, with a Shen right on top of you.
Oh, Cloud Templar is there, but can they save Gank by Mom? He's got the gold card loaded up, uses it onto OneSuck, a little bit of damage there, and the gank doesn't quite work out.
Well, that was actually a bit of a tell by GBM right there because he landed that gold card a bit too early, so it gave them, they didn't actually start taking damage from the turret. But it's all right. At least he's safe and sound. So anyway, come in from the back line with Twisted Fate. Shen rides him in. And then the follow-up, the secondary engage is actually from the Mumu. And at that point, Cloud Templar can decide, are Apple and Prime close enough to space that I need to use my Curse of the Sad Bullet Time to peel? Or do I go ahead and Bandage Toss in and use it more aggressively? The other way they can engage is Mad Life using Death Sense to get into the middle of the team with Box and having that Shen ult. But ultimately, the really best way to engage this to ensure you get on the back line is the TF ult with Zhonya's.
You know, there's an absolutely terrifying potential here, too, that we could have, like, Mad Life Death Sentence in and leave the Lantern for Cloud Templar to take it with him over a wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then get like a Box Curse of the Sad Mummy at the same time.
Absolutely. We really haven't seen this Thresh because when Curse of the Sad Bullet Time was so popular, Thresh did not exist.
Yeah, it wasn't out yet.
So that's a really good point, Doa. There are really interesting combinations that this composition has.
Still just a twinkle in the eye of the design team at that point.
He wasn't yet a fully formed, on fire, undead.
He was just like one of those Pac-Man
monster
ghosts at that point. You know, he's like a ghost, but not very threatening. All right. Well, in this top lane, Apple now with that second Doran's Blade, just looking to be able to have that stay and do a little bit of damage.
Woong just handed them a sheet full of notes, and all it is is a bunch of pictures of Dorian's blades.
I think so, yeah. He has this big like drawing board and he just flips over the sheet and just a big picture of Dorian's blades. Like, we will buy many of these. That's the plan.
Points his little pointer at it.
That's right, and he points to Ryuna and he goes, except for you. You have to buy wards. Wards and pots for you. Maybe later we'll let you have a death cap, but
so you can get the best Crow Storms off.
right.
So yeah, that's what we're looking at here. If Big Blitz has their way, they need to push really quickly and get that advantage and keep Gank by Mom down, because that Sonya's Hourglass may change a lot about this game. If they're careful about warding their flanks, it will be difficult for CJ Frost to engage any other way. Now, if they're not careful about warding their flanks, that's when Cloud Templar may be able to get that bandage toss in. That's when the death sentence might come in a little bit.
Well, we know that Mad Life's warding and counter warding, his counter vision control is very, very good. So, you know, we know already that Frost is really going to do everything they can to make those flanks work. So it might be a little bit difficult, actually, for Blitz to handle that side of things, the vision wars.
Well, we have seen really good warding from Blitz so far in Champions. That's been one of the team's strengths. They're very sound strategically. They lack that kind of star power of a single notable player. Maybe one suck carries that title a little bit, but they do have extremely solid grasp of strategy and how to play out competition.
They kind of do lack. Oh, here we go. Bandage toss going in. Cloud Templar very aggressive here. Oh, they managed to pull in Go-Go, doing a ton of damage. Mad Life goes in for the flame. The kill gets exhausted, though. Very low. Will he survive? Elise doesn't come in for the execute, and it's just going to be a clean kill for Mad Life, using that flash flay. So good. Mad Life's mechanics, man.
I think Go-Go may have 90 caliber netted back into the team right there.
You think so?
There was a lot of stuff dragging him back, and I think one of them was a net that actually sent him back further into Frost.
Maybe we could see the replay. I saw the death sentence into the flash flay, but
yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'm just staring too hard at Mad Life. I can't help it, though. It's Mad Life, man. How can you not?
He was locked up in CC for a long time, though, so difficult to tell in that fight. But regardless, a really smart early tower dive for CJ Frost.
Indeed, Gank by Mom with the gold card, Apple. Not quite able to jump all the way in.
And that's relieved that map pressure. CJ Frost, they know if they can win the early game here, they are going to be so well set up to finish out strong late.
Well, important to note, Gank by Mom is 6 now, and it's all about, you know, those first few teleports, especially now that the cooldown is longer on TF's ultimate. Those first few ultimates are so crucial. You need to make something happen with those.
Yeah, it would be helpful, but considering they just got those kills in mid lane and he got a kill on himself and they got that first blood, it actually means a lot less in this game, particularly since they're not running any kind of split push or pick composition. This is a team fighting
thanks for killing the drama.
I'm sorry.
I try to build it up, and you just tear it right back down again. Oops, slicing Maelstrom used by Apple. Shy.
Ordinarily,
able to flash away.
Ordinarily, you are spot on the money, Dog.
It's too late now. Oh, Ryuna gets jumped on with the Cloud Toss. Cloud Templar just going to be a bully a little bit, gets feared, and a little bit of damage put onto him, but Gank by Mom there as well. Oh, Mad Life doesn't quite hit that death sentence. It's tough to lock down Ezreal, but they just want to get damage done on this turret.
And I love Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw has really some of the best skins in the game.
He does, actually.
In my opinion.
I agree. I agree. I like Jurassic Kog'Maw.
Monarch Kog'Maw, Lion Dance Kog'Maw, Reindeer Kog'Maw. He really just has fantastic skins.
You know, there's some champions that just have tons and tons of skins, right? Kog'Maw is one of the lucky ones.
Well, it's easy to make Kog'Maw skins because any time you put the little worm in a costume, it's going to be hilarious, guaranteed.
That's true. We need like a food-oriented one that's like pigs in a blanket Kog'Maw, where it's like a hot dog.
Hot dog Kog'Maw.
That is what. Well, I guess that could work too, but I guess I was thinking kind of the, you know, what pigs in a blanket is, right?
Yes.
All right. Some people don't. It's a hot dog like wrapped in a crescent roll. For those of you who may not be aware, and I want to see little legs on it. Apparently.
Well, Big trying to get their fast push underway here.
Oh, Wansuck nearly finally poking him down. Space just not quite able to finish him off.
Well, you'll also notice here that Frost has reversed that early pressure. They've kind of broken it down.
Yeah, they really have. They've done a great job with that, too.
They were all pushed up the turret initially. Now they've turned the tide thanks to that very smart tower dive in the middle lane, and they're going to get the first turret of this game, and here we go.
Oh, here comes the gate. They're going to come in. Gank by Mom. No, trying to use it to get away. Cloud Templar feared a little bit there. Gank by Mom can't get away. That's going to be a kill for Gogo. And there's the channel. Surprise party for Runa trying to come in on Cloud Templar. Gets locked up. But the party will be a short and sad one. That's no one dying from that.
And Shy actually got stunned out of that port right there as well. Yeah. So we had two great ult stuns from Blitz.
Yeah, not
they
bad.
Stopped TF and they stopped Shy on Shen from coming in and changing that, picking up a kill and probably a turret in the process. Frost realizes they've got two people up on top, so they're going to go for this dragon.
Yep. And we will see.
We could have a 3v3 right here, though.
Two-shot barrage actually did a lot of damage. They're going to have to back off. They can't fight this.
They certainly cannot.
Yeah.
So not even getting that Blitz responding appropriately, having that good ward right there, softening him up and scaring him away with True Shot Barrage.
Man, this game is already just so good. MiG Blitz showing just how prepared they are for Frost.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Well, they need to get more of a lead right here. They have now moved into the lead just a little bit, but there is a window here for their double AD. Picking double AD against Shen is very dangerous, again, because when Shen gets a lot of armor and a lot of tankiness, it's actually quite easy to shut the enemy down. You can get that Warden's Mail, Sunfire,
Thornmail,
Randuin's. So once you get that to that level of tankiness, Ezreal and Caitlyn just don't do anything anymore
and now MiG Blitz trying to go for this dragon here. Will they be able to do it? Cloud Templar with his ultimate up. Shy there, he does not have Stand United. And yeah, they're just going to let him have it. Not worth fighting. They do get that blue buff, though.
Well, they weren't about to 4v5 with Stand United
I would
down.
say so, yeah.
Going to give Shy a little bit of that free farm in the top lane. He did go for that Spirit Visage first, trying to remove a little bit of the damage from Apple. It is a bit surprising that he would go for that first. Maybe they're just looking to get the lower cooldown on his ultimate to use their globals as much as possible.
Yeah, it could be. That turret very low for Frost, but so far able to defend it pretty well. Mad Life and Space coming back in the lane, along with Ganked by Mom.
Now they know
Space is in the mid lane, actually.
They know that Cloud Templar is there, so they're making pings right now. They don't want to get caught by anything. They're not taking any risk, and now Blitz sees him back off a little bit. We'll see if they go for it. The Ward Wars are really beginning, and look at this again. This is Blitz right here. So good about early vision wards. Look at the map right now.
They're already pretty deep into CJ Frost jungle, too, with those.
It's excellent ward placement so far. Now, they're not playing this aggressively enough. In fact, they could pretty easily just go for that very low bot turret, instead taking the rotation up into the mid lane, clearing out wards as they go.
Wow, Infinity Edge already done on Caitlyn. That was fast.
Yes, it was. And a bit of a difference here. Looking for that damage this time around, not going for the Bloodthirster static shiv sustain push.
Skipping boots even, too. Oh, surprise party. But the surprise is that there's nobody there to get surprised. Oh, they do pull in Prime, though. Cloud Templar there as well. Prime getting very, very low. Gogo trying to DPS from the outside, but just not enough damage yet by herself. And
that's not what Blitz needs to do right now. They shouldn't be trying to make picks. They should be trying to push these turrets. Because now, when you do that with a fast push comp, all of a sudden you lose a lot of pressure on the map. And look at this, Shy just split pushing his way to some free hits on top.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful. As a League of Legends team, you have to be very specific about your goals in any given situation with a given composition. And it's just not even worth it to try to make the pick right there. Especially with TF and Shen ults up. You gotta keep your eyes on the prize, and the prize for this comp is those early turrets.
Thanks, Coach. Mid turret getting a bit low. And there's the gate. They're going to try to go in on Apple. Apple immediately with that slicing Maelstrom. Everybody is there, though. Oh, the bandage toss barely leaves with a flash distance. Mad Life, Shen coming in as well. How in the world do you get to be that good? I want to know, man.
Mad Life is God. Always with the huge
Every
play.
time we see this guy, I feel like I've seen stuff I've never seen before. How are you so accurate with that skill shot after flashing like that? Like, there's a windup. I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Is going absolutely wild for
That's
Mad
incredible.
Life after that play.
Mad Life's the best. There's no question. Save that, man.
His consistent playmaking is pretty extraordinary.
He's like, oh, you missed your bandage toss? No problem. I'm just going to flash over the wall and immediately perfectly hit you with a very narrow skill shot at the very end of its length. No problem. I'm Mad Life. That's what I do.
It's extraordinary. It really is.
I would watch like just a DVD of Mad Life highlight reels. I would actually pay money for that.
I would too. Absolutely.
Oh, ganked by Mom. About to be ganked by Elise, the Spider Mom, but he gets away. Has to burn that flash, but makes it out just fine.
This early game lead that CJ Frost has managed to accrue, and they've stayed neck and neck for the most part, as well as being in the lead most of the early game.
Yeah.
It's so problematic because this is where Blitz had the power spike, and CJ Frost found ways to get those early kills, to turn the pressure back on the lanes, and they're handily defeating this double AD composition right now. And they're used to beating double AD. I actually question this.
How did he do that? All right, that was another amazing grab. It gets cleansed immediately. Cleanse used.
We saw CJ Frost beat the double AD comp that came out of the KT Bullets in their last match. I question the use of double AD here against Frost.
You know, we talked about this a lot last season in that a lead against CJ Frost really isn't a lead at all unless it's like a 10K, 15K lead. Like they're so good at controlling the game, especially at coming back in the later stages of the game, which they may not even need to do this time, but you need such an enormous lead against CJ Frost to even call it a lead to begin with.
Absolutely. And the way you beat these double AD compositions, too, is that you create those pick scenarios and you prevent them from grouping.
Yeah.
Now, Mad Life did that last game as Alistar running around the map with space and setting up picks. And this time, they don't waste any time at all to make a rather risky dive with Cloud Templar on that mid turret where they all got very low, but they still got that kill, that very important kill. And they haven't really allowed MiG Blitz to group up. Instead, they've kept the lanes pushed in order to keep them split up, because it almost dares the enemy that's running that double AD in the game to push other lanes and say, hey, there's some farm over here. Do you want it? Do you want this farm? Or are you going to let it go and try and get a turret? And it makes the double AD team make a very difficult decision because both of those AD carries need farm to get items.
Yeah.
They need a lot of it. So when you force farm loss to turrets,
this could be
big problems.
This could be the fight Frost is looking for, the dragon. And there's a surprise party coming over the wall. Does manage to separate the team. A good slicing Maelstrom as well, but it's just too much. Apple has too little health right now. Cloud Templar coming in a little bit. There's a gold card loaded up on Gank by Mom. Who's he going to use it on? Gets it in. Actually, CJ Frost very low. And Wansuck coming in on Ezreal, getting the double kill already. And he may not be done yet. Gold card still on Gank by Mom. Another one loaded up. There's the arcade shift coming in. Wansuck still wants those kills. Go looking for it as well. Wansuck with the mystic shot over the wall. Gank by Mom. So low right now. Shy nearly dies to the Essence Flush, but not quite. Meanwhile, Wansuck getting taken down by Gogo. Out of sight. Oh, they have the taunt to escape the true shot barrage, but suddenly MiG Blitz turns around that fight in a big way. A huge ultimate from Yuna. A pretty good ultimate from Apple again. He died right away, but he managed to sort of delay. He managed to split the fight up.
And yeah, they are continuing to fast push here. They got 2 turrets for it as well. So they got a big lead off of that. Nice kiting there. And the Fiddle Fear was so important to keep Cloud Templar, to delay him so that he got tunneled on the back line right there. So when he came in, by the time that the fear wore off and he could get into the back line for Curse of the Sad Mummy, sure, he got 3 people, but they were too far away for the follow-up attack because the kiting had already happened. And that kiting just continued and continued and continued. Take a look at this. This is a really important fear right here.
So he makes up for the earlier Fiddlesticks ults.
Fear right there. So Shen can't get in the back line either. And you can see, yes, There are 3 down, but no one is hitting those AD carries. In the meantime, they run enough interference in the front lines of CJ Frost. Very nicely played.
Really good position.
And look at the life
well.
still. Both AD carries up. That's how you want to end a fight if you're blitz. That means that your tanks have done the proper amount of healing and that they're just kiting very well.
Did he get killed by minions? I wish we could have seen the end of that because it looked like that might have actually happened. All right, well, right now, Blitz putting all this pressure onto Frost. You know, it's funny, we were talking about how good Frost is, and they still could come back, but after losing a massive team fight, it shows you just how dangerous Blitz is to be able to break that up like that.
Well, Shy now trying to get that split push in. He's got to distract them because this 5-man is so dangerous.
Yes, it is, and here it comes right now.
And
Shy
again,
takes that turret in the bot lane.
This is why the Zhonya's on TF is so important. And instead he got Lichbane. I think that's a big itemization mistake because that kiting, we saw the issues that they have engaging.
Yeah.
Because you can just fear, but you can't fear TF if he's in your back line.
Oh, Gogo gets dropped, and here we go, the gate coming in. Who's he going to try to come in on, though? He's still waiting to use it, doesn't end up deciding to go for that teleport, and there's a surprise party. Oh, a great counter engage from MiG Blitz. Cloud Templar way in the back, Madlife not able to do a whole lot with that box, but Shy comes in a big way. Can he get something done? Madlife gets a kill onto Elise, and Shy chasing away that back line. Apple and One Sock being forced away in space, coming through that fight without a lot of damage on him. Never mind, now he's damaged. Shy still chasing, gets the taunt, and he gets the kill. And CJ Frost somehow managing to turn that one around. That looked so scary when Rihanna came in right away with that Crow Storm. It looked like it was going to be bad again.
It was positioning error by One Suck and Gogo right there because they grouped up into a 5-man Curse of the Sad Mummy. That shouldn't have been allowed to happen. It should have really only hit Ryuna and Apple, but they over-pursued it when they turned it around. It was a great play call from Blitz, but it didn't turn out exactly as they wanted it to. The AD carries getting too far forward.
Yeah, a relatively minor mistake leads to a big win for CJ Frost.
Yes, I firmly believe that Blitz would have dominated that team fight because if that hadn't happened, because if they had been able to kite again, the 2 AD carries, then Shen would not have been able to get back into them like he did that time around.
Right.
But good timing by Cloud Templar for his ultimate for sure, taking advantage of that closely grouped ball of Blitz players.
Yep.
Or Blitz ball, as I like to call it.
They got hit with the Ject shot. You know, and really, I mean, Ezreal is the tightest of this game, I would say.
That's very true. I don't know if he has enough unnecessary belts, though.
That's true. He doesn't have enough unnecessary belts. If there's one thing, if you want to design a character like a Final Fantasy character, they need lots of buckles and belts for no reason at all. And zippers. You know, a few, but mostly buckles and belts.
Okay, well, Shy coming back, he almost has his Randuins now.
Yep.
That's where he wants to be. They only have to. Frost only has to wait this out. It's not a question of if they go to the late game, they'll win. They will win if they go to the late game, and they know it. They know it.
This kind of looks like he's swimming when he's walking. He's like kind of.
He's doing the side stroke.
Paddling with, yeah. See, he's practicing rescue swimming because he can have someone in the crook of his other elbow that he's bringing to shore. Yeah. Why isn't there a lifeguard Shen skin? I mean, he teleports in to save people. Another great skin idea from Doe and Monte Cristo. Right there, lifeguard Shen.
Okay, we may be seeing a Desperation Baron right here.
We could, and there's a gate. Scaring him away, scaring him out of the Baron pit. And that's the power, that's the scariness of ganked by mom. The terror. He's going to go ahead and use it anyway. Why not?
Teleports right next to himself.
That's right.
It was a short trip.
Yep. But it's really, you know, it's not about the length of the trip. It's how you get there. That sounds like something I read in a coffee table book once. So there you go. Or like on a plaque in someone's bathroom or something. It's very strange if you think about it. And MiG Blitz trying to set up this pick here. Cloud Templar, oh man, he nearly walked in. He may have gone too far. There's the supplies party. And Cloud Templar with a pretty good ultimate himself. MiG Apple in the middle of everything with that slicing mouse from the cake by on the outside. Shy comes in with another great taunt, and they're chasing away MiG Blitz. Cake by Mon, he's got the gold card. There's a flash gold card onto Wansa. Gogo on his own. Shy waiting for that taunt cooldown. And there it is. Oh, dodged with the net from Gogo. And he will escape. But another good fight win for CJ Frost.
Now they had
1 for 3.
They had to burn a lot of flashes in order to get that, and that's still. I know I keep hammering on this, but if there was just that Zhonya's first from TF, so many of these problems would have been solved, really.
Right.
Because you can activate that Zhonya's before Fiddlesticks can fear you, so there's not really a danger of that, and just having to burn flashes left and right in order to get those gold cards, in order to get those taunts. Sure, it's great when you have all of your team flashes up.
Let's watch that replay.
Absolutely. And Rina getting the fear down onto Gang by Mom immediately. Cloud Templar coming in again with another good ultimate, and he landed that bandage toss critically. Dies nearly instantly, though. One suck too far forward, and Gogo, one suck and Gogo again mispositioning.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the engages for Cloud Templar are really messing up their coordination in team fights, because we saw Apple way out in the middle of nowhere.
That's the second fight in a row that if they had better positioning, that fight probably would have ended up quite differently.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we're just seeing, that really veteran status of CJ Frost coming through. It's not big things. Blitz is playing well this game. It's just small positional errors that are giving Frost that lead.
Well, they're only going to run away with the game from here. Randuin's finished onto Shy. Now the Zhonya's is done by Gang by Mom. So I hope we actually get to see how a team fight would go if TF engages with the Shen ult on him. That's what I'm hoping for, Doa. Because I bet it's not going to be pretty.
Probably not. Well, MiG Blitz had a promising start, but now a really tough prospect coming into this late game phase. I mean, if there's one thing, if there's the ultimate no-no rule in League of Legends, it's don't play against Frost in the late game. That's like on the top of the list of things not to do in Korea. It's don't play against Frost in the late game.
When they can get their way, when they can get those 5v5 fights, they just make such good engages, such good decisions. As we've seen repeatedly throughout this game, they know how to save their abilities. Shy, from the first minute of this game, hitting that flash taunt and then repeatedly landing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Waiting until one second Gogo cluster and then managing to hit both of them.
And it looks like we may have a Baron, actually, for CJ Frost, kind of doing it from behind in the Baron. But look at this. So sneaky from CJ Frost. And there's no idea, they have no idea that it's being done. They're going to get probably a free Baron. It is! They have no idea. It's a free Baron for CJ Frost.
Echo drag Cogline into the pit as well.
Why not? Oh, that true shot barrage was actually very close to sealing it. And here we go, the bandage toss coming in. The fear immediately though on Cloud Templar, so no ultimate. Mad Life misses it. Apple comes in. There is the curse of the Sad Mummy. Ryuna in, not doing a lot with his ultimate. And CJ Frost just needs to slowly advance. Slowly pushing that front line forwards. And Wansuck and Gogo, the last men standing. But they're going to chase Wansuck down. Easy kill there. Gogo still alive. But it doesn't matter. They're just going to push. They're going to get an inhibitor out of this, at least.
At the very least, I would say. Shy going to go ahead and tank the turret for just a few seconds until the minion wave gets there. Takes out the tier 2. Now they've got their sights set on the inhibitor.
Yeah. Gogo, not a lot he can really do against this. He can poke a bit. He can be annoying, but he cannot stop this inhibitor from going down. Now, Prime is up right now, as is Ryuna, but look at that, immediately getting away. Gang by Mom trying to take the lantern, but Space grabs it first. Gang by Mom has to run away. Space is like, hey man, my legs are short and stubby. You have regular human legs, you can run faster.
And you can see into the mind of Frost when they take that Baron as well. They're clever, they know how to use their champions extremely well. Coming in with Thresh, pulling someone over the wall with Lantern, bandage tossing over the wall, using Space's Cogmod W, the Bioarcane Barrage, in order to get the range to hit Baron. Everything, and then pulling him in with the Lantern after the cooldown ended. They know exactly how to take this Baron.
Amazing coordination.
Okay, well, Cloud Templar gets feared again. That's very important. And the silence going down onto multiple targets as well. So Apple doing a good peel right here. Ryuna coming in with the Crow Storm, and 1 second go not clustered this time. Coming in from the side, but Shy is just it's too late. Shen is way too tanky right now.
And I mean, Ryuna, despite like one good Crow Storm, has just not been able to really hit it, and it's not always his fault either. I mean, with that, what are you supposed to do? You really can't even get in that particular case. He tried it, but wasn't in the cards.
Double AD is a good composition. It just has a very specific timing window that CJ Frost has now, in the last 2 games they played against double AD comps, totally managed to avoid.
I really wonder, too, just how much popularity this double AD is going to hold over time. I feel like it's going to be something that we see once in a while, but it's not going to become like nearly every game like the Curse of the Sad Bullet Time was for a while.
We've seen a lot of it this season already.
We have, but I just have this feeling that it's not going to end up surviving. Maybe that's something that people later like quote me on and talk about how bad I am, but I've just got this feeling. It's a Dostradamus moment.
I think you're probably right, Doa, but it does take a good team to beat it at this given time, since it's become pretty common, but not as saturated as Curse of the Sad Bullet Time, which we are seeing like every game.
Nice Mystic Shot dodge with the Lantern. But Space and Mad Life just showing off now.
In this scenario, it is, I don't know if this was the right pick, considering how we had, when Bullets and Frost played each other, they were both teams lost their games with a double AD composition.
Yep.
Both of them did. And so it just takes that knowledge of timing. And I especially think it's dangerous to play double AD into Shen.
Yeah,
I think that is
totally. Well, Apple gets a big grab there. The Flame misses, but a dangerous moment. Shy, in the meantime, he's going to get this bottom turret, actually. They're going to have to send people to deal with Shen, and as soon as they do,
they have no one
that's
that
when
can
CJ Frost is going to come in. Yeah.
They have no one that can deal with Shen right now. That's the problem.
Well, Gogo's going to give it a try, but good luck. I mean, not a lot of damage being done there.
This is double AD late game. This is why it doesn't work.
He gives up. He's like, I can't do damage. One sec. There we go. Death sentence into the flay, into the death forever. Ezreal. Cloud Templar comes in with the ultimate just for zoning. Doesn't even need it. Gold card loaded up. Hits Gogo. So if Gogo uses his Zonias in a fight, can we call this tanked by Mom? There goes the inhibitor, and this is the end of the game, guys. This is the end of the line for Make Blitz, and Frost coming in for the eventual kill. Slicing Maelstrom goes down, but CJ just has way too much right now. The double AD not able to put enough damage out. Gank by Mom goes down, but that is it. Space with the double kill. Apple lurking on the outside of the fight, trying to come in with that lightning rush. Not gonna be enough. Shy hanging out with Gogo, trying to take him out.
Honestly, Dylan, the real hero of this game is Shy, who is, I believe...
Look at that. GG, there it is. And CJ Frost using that knowledge, using that long-term veteran skill to come back against a very good Make Blitz team to win in that late game.
Absolutely, and Blitz played well. They really tried to get that win, to grind it out in the early game, but Frost was all over them, got the first blood at level 1, which was really antithetical to their strategy, but Blitz still managed to fight back, but Shy had a great game. I think he hit 2 to 3 people with every single flash taunt.
Nearly all the signs in the audience right now are saying like Shy for MVP, stuff like that.
The taunt in this last fight too was Shy. He actually comes in, and then it looks like he bends at a right angle because of how this taunt goes down. We're actually watching it, you guys can't see it, but look at this.
Wow, he flashes right at the end of it for the double taunt on Apple and Gogo.
But every single taunt that game hitting a flash with those multiple people, actually preventing the kiting coming out of the double AD. And there was that one fight where they managed to get the good kite in, but after that, Shy was all over them. Mad
Life 2-1-17 that game. That is the kind of bloodthirsty I like to see. There he is. The sereneness, the serenity of the death and destruction dealt by Mad Life. And guys, in case you didn't notice, it's a victory for CJ Frost.
And that means they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, they make it.